Marketing without being pushy or needy. So in this video, we're going to talk about how you can promote your business, how you can market it without coming across as too desperate, too sales oriented, and too aggressive. I hope you like this content. If you do, then make sure that you hit that like button and the subscribe button and add any comments that you like in the comment section down below, including suggestions for what we should cover in future videos. Most marketeers, consultants, and experts will try to sell you on different ways of getting your intended target audience, client, or referral parties to a yes as quickly as possible. And where that may be effective in some types of businesses, for businesses who target professional audiences, it can become counterproductive and it can also end up giving you a bad name. The reason is that those sophisticated audiences need a softer approach. If you enter this with the expectation that things will happen overnight, then it's very likely that you will ruin your chances of establishing a business relationship and obtaining the business that you seek. The objective of these specialists is to generate as many potential client conversations as possible. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, but it will be less effective if you try to squeeze them into your sales funnel, if you will, so that you end up with some interesting conversations that you pushed through. Do you find this type of approach appealing when you're exposed to it? And also, is this the type of business development that you would be interested in doing for your business? It is true that some businesses are better suited for this type of approach because their products and services are of a one-off nature. So as long as they get a sale now, it doesn't really matter so much what happens after. Their market may also be close to infinite or at least very large. So it doesn't matter if they burn a few relationships along the way, as long as they get the business that they want and need. Now, this type of approach is not effective for relationship-oriented and driven businesses, where there is a requirement to factor in longer decision-making processes, multiple decision makers, a longer relationship with the prospect of recurring business, and finally, situations where the nature of how your counterpart make decisions is driven by their trust and respect in your professionalism, your knowledge, and your relationship and contact with them. Now, if you operate in a market where word spreads by word of mouth, and to be honest, that applies to most businesses, you always want to be careful with how you approach business development. You want to be careful with your reputation and not try to push things too hard to get someone to do business with you. So what is it then that you can do to not come across as pushy, salesy, or needy when you try to market your business and when you're interested in getting more business, new clients, as well as more business from your existing clients? Now, the way you achieve this is by doing these three things: having a reliable system for generating more business, having sufficient scale in your operations to create the opportunities that will materialize into actual business, and then finally, allowing for time. If you're starting out fresh, then what you need to do first is get proof of concept. Then you can move on to these 3 points. And proof of concept is something that we will cover in future videos. So the first point here is having a proven system for obtaining more business. And since your business is relationship driven, it generally means that you're not going to get an immediate feedback loop on your marketing efforts. Not getting an immediate feedback loop means that you have to put trust in the system to produce the desired outcome. If the system isn't effective, that means that you're going to be wasting time, money, and energy. It can ultimately mean that you can spend months and even years to try to build something that won't work without really knowing whether you're on the right path or not. However, if your system is effective and reliable, it means that it's just a question of time before you're going to start seeing the desired results. The two things that your system needs to achieve is, number one, to have a visibility component so that you stay top of mind and that you become noticed. Number two, a networking component so that you're able to leverage your existing network and contacts as well as successfully expand your network and ultimately turn those new business contacts into potential business opportunities. And finally, your system needs a proven process for successfully cultivating contacts and bringing them from the point where they are a completely cold contact to a warm one from where business can be conducted. And everything depends on the scale of your activities. If your idea of marketing and business development is to engage with your prospective client on an ad hoc basis, as in when you feel like it, when you're inspired, when you have the time, then it's very likely that you're going to get mediocre results. If you, however, do the work consistently and you do it at scale, engaging with prospects will very likely end up giving you more business over time. And everything else being equal, is generally more effective to engage with 100 potential clients than 10. So scale tend to matter. And if you have scale in your efforts, it means that you're always going to have interesting conversations with potential clients. And the third and final point, allowing for time. Sure, you can sometimes get immediate business from completely new and cold contacts, but that shouldn't be your expectation. By allowing for time and being patient, you will sow the seeds now and then watch these seeds grow and materialize into opportunities in the future. By compromising with the time aspects and pushing things harder, which you absolutely can do, you run the risk of starting to burn relationships and putting your reputation at risk. So applying the system that we talked about here in this presentation will give you the opportunity to obtain direct business from new contacts. But in the cases where that don't happen, you have a proven system and a reliable process for cultivating those new contacts over time to ultimately generate the new business that you want. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, then make sure that you hit that like button and the subscribe button. Put any comments or questions down here in the section below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.